Okay.
If I had $1 for every violent game I own that starts with the word post, I'd have $3, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened thrice. Welcome to Post Void. If you showed me this game 6 years ago, I probably would have become addicted to LSD. If I was forced to describe this at a first glance, I'd probably call you into a mental institution and tell you to get the hell away from me. Blah blah blah, no one cares, and we're sent straight into action. So one day, I was scrolling through the Steam store for some cool games when I came across the subject of today's video. And clearly I'm a little bit late to this party. It came out over 5 years ago, and was created by these guys, YCJY Games. This game had me hooked for hours. It was like an actual drug that had been injected in my bloodstream. I ended up 100% completing it, including all 7 achievements in one sitting. It was genuinely really hard, but I kept pushing through, just hoping for a successful run because I was immersed well beyond my comprehension. Okay, enough philosophical yapping. Post Void is a movement shooter built up of procedurally generated maps full of grotesque monoliths of the human psyche that are actively trying to kill you, while your life is already on a constant timer. This game forces you to move at breakneck speeds to succeed. You play as a primordial gunslinger tasked with finding yourself back into the peaceful void after all hell broke loose, and created the headache, which is what caused all of this madness to begin in the first place. The longer you're in here, the closer you are to dying. You see this skull in your hand? That's your life, the idol. And every second you wait around without blowing something's head off is another drop of your life wasted. When it runs out, a 3-second timer begins, and once it reaches 0, you are going to die. A lot. The only way to replenish your health is to kill, and extract this suspicious white fluid from your enemies.
What do you mean by that?
Not to be typical and annoying, but am I the only one who thinks this game might be some kind of allegory for addiction? I know. Classic indie game trope where weird obscure pixel art game is somehow a metaphor for depression and addiction. But I mean, if you think about it, your health constantly draining with the only way to gain it back by consuming some weird liquid, being in a void of chaos until you get what you want to achieve peace again. Sounds kind of like a drug addiction to me. Anyways, not really important. Can we take a moment to talk about how satisfying the gunplay is here? Wait, what the hell am I asking you for? This is my video. It's just so juicy! And speaking of weapons, there are quite a few to cover. But first I'll talk about the upgrade system. At the end of each level, of which there are 11, you are presented with the option to choose one of 3 upgrades. Let's run each one down real quick. First, we'll start with the obvious ones. Bigger clips. It's self-explanatory. You get more ammo. And my gun nerd brain is fucking annoyed at the fact that they're calling it clips.
What you have there is not clips. These are mags. They're mags, not clips, you absolute
Fucking dummy.
Explosive ammo. It blows up your enemies. Reload speed. Well, lets you reload faster. I mean, do I even need to explain that? Compass. It adds a compass to the top of your screen pointing to the direction of the exit. Now into the juicier ones. First up, Big Idol. I choose this one every time I get the chance. It basically increases the amount of liquid held in your idol, meaning you get to live longer. Incredibly useful, 10 out of 10 upgrade. Next we got Serious Mode. It makes you move faster when walking backwards. Totally not a Serious Sam reference. If you've ever played Serious Sam, this hits real close to home. Slow Bullets slows down the bullets of your enemies, making them easier to dodge. Ghost makes you able to pass through enemies without slowing down. And finally, Rubber Bullets. It makes your bullets bounce off of walls, which makes the game significantly easier if you can't aim. When paired with explosive ammo and a certain other gun I'll get to later, it basically turns you into an unstoppable force of nature. Right, so the weapons. Along with the upgrades, you'll occasionally get the option to get a new weapon, of which there are 4. The pistol is the one you start with, which is self-explanatory. It has a magazine capacity of 6 and can one-shot every enemy as long as you hit the head. The shotgun is a sawed-off double barrel that's a big damage dealer, but can leave you open due to its low magazine capacity. The Uzi, I put that in quotes because it's clearly fucking not. It's fully automatic and has a capacity of 20. It's kind of ass unless you don't spam it, then it's basically just a pistol with a higher magazine capacity. But it's really inaccurate and I just don't really like it that much. Last up, we have the knife. It seems like a stupid choice at first. Why would I trade my gun out for a knife? Ah, you see, I was the same way, young one. I was just as naive as you at one point. But when I tried it, I realized I was wrong. This thing is immaculate at tearing apart your enemies. Hold click to charge up a strong attack and BAM! Turn that bitch into giblets. There's also a stab function, which is fine. The 11 levels are split up into acts, of which there are 3. Each subsequent act introduces new enemies and more complex terrain. So these enemies, let's talk about them. The first act only has 2 enemies, the suit and the flamingo. The suit is a grotesque man with an abstract head that wields a handgun and will shoot at you. They will occasionally dodge your attacks, but 1 bullet to the head is all it takes to have them fall. These are the most common enemies, often appearing around every corner ready to attack you. The second enemy type is the flamingo, a disgusting rabid animal with saggy flailing tits that charges and bites you. These guys are very fast and will tailgate you through the entire level, so make sure you take them out as soon as you can. Moving on to the second act, we are introduced to 3 new enemies. Up first, the flesh wall. I'm gonna assume I can't show that on YouTube. It'll randomly spawn in the middle of the hallway and will block you from getting through until you can blast it open. It doesn't attack you in any way and doesn't really pose a threat. 1 shot is enough to destroy it, I think. Next we have the telehand, which is essentially a flying drone that gets in your way and hacks at you with its spinning propeller, causing immense damage and distorts your vision. These guys are annoying as fuck and I hate them. And then we have the crying mouth, which is a mouth, obviously, possessing a giant eyeball inside of it. It attaches itself to the wall and shoots barrages of bullets at you, somehow. The final act only introduces 1 new enemy, but it also changes up a pre-existing one. I'll get to that in a moment, but first, the bulb hand. The bulb hand is a walking hand with a fucking flashbang attached to it that will explode and blind you. Since it is a small enemy that crawls on the floor, you might not be able to see it at first, especially if you are not looking down due to other enemies around. But don't worry too much, they don't damage you in any way, but they can be very annoying by preventing you from seeing anything, and additionally giving you tinnitus. They also kill themselves when they do this, so yeah. So about that enemy they changed up. I present to you the white suit, an upgraded version of the suit enemy that's faster and more capable of killing you. That's pretty much it for the enemies. So if you couldn't already tell, this game is batshit insane. It's basically an ADHD simulator, which feels really close to home for me. To all the junkies out there, is this what it feels like to take drugs? Is it? I would not be surprised. Launching this game is the digital equivalent to injecting a morphine and adrenaline mixture into your bloodstream. I was just so easily able to lock in on this game and got good fairly fast. If you struggle at this game, here's my advice. Think of each enemy as an opportunity to heal yourself instead of a threat. Being afraid will do you no good. You must charge in with utmost confidence and performance. Kill every single one of them with extreme violence and show no mercy. I swear I'm not insane, okay? The third act is by far the most difficult segment of this game, with the most egregious level of enemy spam and the most stages out of any of the acts. This is where most of your runs will end, but if you manage to push through, you'll reach an epilogue, which takes place in a dense forest packed with enemies that progressively becomes darker until you reach pitch black. Almost like we're in some kind of post-void. Right? Okay, enough corny jokes. Keep moving forward and you'll find... So that's pretty much all there is to this game. You can replay it as many times as you want, and there's also a leaderboard that tracks everyone's high score and ranks them. But I still have more to talk about. While researching to see if this game had any mods, I actually found some, 3 to be exact. One of which I found on Reddit, which is essentially an expansion pack for the game, adding 9 more upgrades and 2 more weapons, including a fucking beastly auto shotgun and a burst rifle. They're all super overpowered and make the game so much more fun. For example, an upgrade that gives you an extra bullet for every headshot, or a power-up that lets you double jump. Ever since installing this mod, I just haven't been able to go back. It's just a direct upgrade of the original game. I'll leave a link in the description for you to get it if you want. Just download the data.win file and replace the one the game came with the new one. But make sure to back up the original one in case you want to go back to vanilla. Spoiler alert, you won't. Another one made by the same guy is basically just an endless mode. Not really my style, but for those of you who would like that, it'll be in the description as well. And the third and final one is a real big randomizer mod that adds a bunch of balancing changes. Again, I don't really like like this one that much, but I'll leave it down below for anyone who wants it. The developers of this game have made 3 other games as well, but Post Void is definitely their magnum opus. It sold around 300,000 units and still has a small active community to this day. It's also a pretty popular game for speedrunning. I love Post Void. It's a game I occasionally hop into for some quick fun. Due to how simple yet addicting the gameplay loop is, I can't see myself ever getting bored of it. Definitely worth the purchase as it's only $3 full price and on sale for $1.49 right now. Go ahead and support the developers by buying this game. They're really talented people and it'll supply you with hours of fun as well. I've been Diggy Chase, and that's about all there is to this video. See ya.